All right, we're back on the show with the Malapert Smarts here. We're boldly disrespectful to our elders who've actually been in the wrestling business and who actually do it, and we've never been a part of it at all, but we're still going to judge them like we know something, okay? If you got a hot take, Vlad, just let it fly. Oh, by the way, this is Vlad,
This is
a
Vlad.
wrestling expert, playing the role
Oh,
of
jeez.
Jim Cornette today will be
Oh,
my,
jeez.
my friend Vlad, and this is episode 8 of the Malapert Smart podcast. This is Smart Mark Talk. We're gonna break kayfabe here, and we're gonna talk about this show that was done yesterday. At this point, right? We're recording this on May 11th, but we're gonna review AEW Dynamite today from May 10th, 2023.
Correct. That's
All
right.
We've been doing a weekly Dynamite review for a while, but we're going to do it a little different today. We're not going to go through the whole show. We're assuming everyone watched the show if you're going to watch this show. So let's just get on with it, all right? So we're going to start with the most important topic of the day. We're going to go straight to the Orange Cassidy match against Daniel Garcia. So once again, Orange Cassidy breaking records for the Quantum Flux podcast network. Again, the most highest viewed video last week was our Orange Cassidy a needle mover video. Over 200 views. So we got a 100 view video the week before that, 200 views. Nothing else even comes close. So because of that, just like on Dynamite, he's going to lead off our show. So the Daniel Garcia match. This is for the international title. Vlad, any thoughts on this match? Want to put a minute on the clock for Orange Cassidy?
I probably don't need a minute for this.
Hey, you don't have to use the whole minute if you don't want to.
Sure, exactly. I won't need it. I don't understand why why people are watching the videos of just Orange Cassidy of our podcast or of our discussion on that. I don't understand it. You're saying he's just like decisive or divisive personality. I don't really understand that either. He's kind of a clown. He doesn't. I don't know what the divisiveness is.
He's divisive because people that either will like him or really dislike him. So,
but but the ones that like him, I need to understand why they like him, because I still haven't gotten the full idea of what's there to like. I mean, it's the same thing that he's been doing for the last couple of years.
Well, he's
and
cool.
He's not.
He's really cool, dude.
I mean, is that like, are you like kayfabing or that he's cool or what? Because nobody actually thinks that he's cool. I mean, I refuse to believe that. And okay, the minute is up, thank God. And I don't care about the match. I know he won, but so who cares? The match, all right? I don't care.
Well, I'll talk about the match since I watched it. I'll talk about Daniel Garcia. I mean that little dance he does, that annoying dance. It made me laugh. Nothing else on this show made me laugh, but the Daniel Garcia dance, I like. I don't know if you know the dance I'm speaking of, but
no, I do not.
Well, you gotta go back and look at this. Maybe in the post production, I'll put it on here for.
Put it on here for me so I could take a look at this dance because that's what I like to see. Daniel Garcia dance.
Dude, he's a sports entertainer, man. Anyways,
right. He's a lot of things.
I'll just say real quick for Orange Cassidy, I think there's a little bit of a story that he's selling this injury. It's getting harder and harder for him to defend the title. So I think they're leading to something, and that's all I'll say. There were parts of this match I didn't really like. I didn't like him acting too lazy. I don't mind him acting lazy and disrespectful, but sometimes it's too lazy, and it looks like the other guy could just whoop his ass, But other than that, I thought it was an okay match. I know you don't like Orange Cassidy, but I'm rolling with his gimmick, and but we're gonna move along. So let's move on to the next angle that I want to speak of. Let's talk about Julia Hart versus Anna Jay.
No DQ.
No, yeah, no holds barred, no
No holds barred.
disqualification. Very personal match, and so let's put a minute on the clock for this show, for this angle for you.
Hmm.
What do you think of this match?
I don't understand when they have these women matches that are no DQ and nobody knows where the build is because nobody. I don't remember them building this up to something,
On
So I don't know why
Rampage,
they're
it was on Rampage. Julia Hart
okay.
attacked her, and
They had something on Rampage, but does this really mean that they need to have a no DQ violent match? I mean, luckily it wasn't like crazy like some of their past matches where there was like, but it was pretty crazy still, right? They brought out the weapons and they brought out all the
chairs.
crazy
There was
chairs.
Yeah.
Yeah, those chairs. There uh, were there thumbtacks or was that another match I'm thinking of?
No thumbtacks too.
No, no thumbtacks. Okay, but
But
anyways,
this was a hardcore match, and they had a steel cage hardcore match later, so that's a Jim Cornette-ism that they shouldn't have done that twice.
yeah. But I was real quick. Yeah, I like Julia Hart. I like her look. Um, I don't know. I don't think she's like a wrestler. Like, I don't know if she could be wrestling in the ring. But as far as like being like a valet or being like a manager type, where she kind of interferes in matches or whatever, she could be good in that role. But she's kind of has a cool look. Anna Jay is hot, and that's about all I'll say about Anna Jay.
I'll put a minute for myself. So, but I thought the match. I mean, I think it was too hardcore for Julia Hart. I think. I mean, we haven't seen much of her. I've seen her on Elevation a little bit, but
Right.
this seemed like there's hardcore, and like some people really shouldn't be trying to be hardcore because it seemed like she really got hurt. She got messed up in this match at the end. I don't know if you saw it, but she was just laying there like in pain, holding her arm. She must have broken something or something, but they wanted to go through with the finish. So one of those type of deals where she was supposed to win. So, but she was a trooper. She powered through.
Sure.
I'll give it up for her, and I think I just think that they shouldn't be putting her through that. There was another
Sure.
time when
Because
she got
what's the
remember when she
point?
got thrown through the table and her back of her head hit the freaking floor and everything. Like, I mean, I don't know. It didn't look good enough for me to warrant really having to do it. But I mean, the angle was kind of silly. On Rampage, it was kind of funny when Julia Hart attacked Anna Jay out of nowhere, and then she ended up getting stretched right then and there. So she blindsided her, and then she ended up getting stretched. And I thought that was funny. I mean, I don't know. It was not a terrible match. It was a spectacle. That was about it. But it was interesting to
Yeah,
watch. It was interesting to watch. It wasn't a
sure.
fantastic match.
Sure. But so is a car crash. So that doesn't mean it should be
It
on a
was
wrestling
it was
show.
kind of a car crash. Yeah.
Well, there you go. There you go.
Anyways, let's move along. What's my next angle? Angle number 3. Christian. Christian had a promo
Yes.
to talk about challenging Wardlow. So, you got some thoughts about Christian's promo?
Uh, that was great, actually. I thought he was great. I mean, this is a great heel promo. He he was, you know, he made sure that the crowd, booed the hell out of him. He said what he had to say. He was very eloquent in the way he delivered it. It was classic heel stuff. I enjoyed it. I enjoyed it thoroughly. I mean, I'm not sure what how much I enjoyed the feud with Wardlow, but he took shots at Arn Anderson, which were funny. He took shots at the crowd in Detroit, which was hilarious. Overall, it was pretty great. I mean, he's always been a great heel promo. I feel he's very, underrated in that regard. And I've always enjoyed Christian when he's used right. And, he was doing this type of stuff a couple months back as well. It just didn't really lead to, maybe because of the injury, didn't lead to where it needed to go. But anyways, Christian, I'm a big fan of, and I know you are as well. So I'll let you talk about your guy.
Oh yeah. Well, Christian, again, yes, I was very happy to see that he's going to be the guy to take this feud on, and yes, I was very happy with this promo, uh, going after the dad, and like he did with Jungle Boy, just
That's
merciless,
right. That's right.
merciless. Yeah, so he went after Wardlow's dad, saying everybody in the company had daddy issues. Uh, Went after Arn, saying that he's looking for a new son because his own son couldn't cut it.
That's right.
I thought he was
That's
talking
absolutely
about
right.
Cody for a second, like, oh, Cody was his son.
No, yeah.
But
No,
oh,
he actually has
Brock
a son.
Brock Anderson fought on, I think, Ring of Honor, but I
Maybe
forget
that's where he's at.
against
Maybe that's
who.
where they put him.
Yeah, but yeah, so
I haven't
yeah, he
seen Brock Anderson in many many months.
God, what a stud promo from Christian though, man. Top notch, top
Top
notch.
notch, top notch. Oh yeah,
God
yep. Everything
damn,
that you mentioned was great.
he should be in the freaking world title picture against MJF, honestly.
Well, yeah, if he wasn't a heel, it would you don't want to go heel versus heel. But yes, in general, he's great, and he should be. If they used him, he should be in the title picture. To be honest, he's just as good as anyone there.
All right, we're gonna move on. Let's go to Tony Khan's announcement that there will be an announcement next week.
Dude, this writes itself. It's like every week now he has an announcement. But I think okay, well you're gonna give me a minute to discuss this too, or no?
Well,
Or do
no,
I just you
I
want
was
me
also
to
I was
comment?
gonna tie this into
Uh-huh.
the fact that he's been more on the show. He's kind of been more prominent. He's kind of
Yeah.
he's the authority figure now, definitely. Like people are going to his office to talk to him. That's a little bit in the storyline. Like Miro and Thunder Rosa, they're back.
Yeah,
They
yeah,
want
I
to talk.
thought those yeah, those were cool. Those were cool moments. I thought just
So yeah,
having those guys
I
there.
guess I'll give you a minute to talk about the announcement and how you feel he's integrating himself into the show.
Yeah. Well, as far as integrating the show, he shouldn't. He's terrible. He's on TV. He's awful. But as far as him just like announcing, I think it's also laughable that he's just announcing stuff that for next. Like I have an announcement next week. Ridiculous. But I'm guessing it's going to have something to do with the new show that everybody's been talking about. That's going to supposedly start in June. So we're pretty close to that situation. So maybe that's what he's going to announce. That the rumor that they're going to have a Saturday show, right? Everybody, Collision, AEW Collision. So maybe that's going to be the big announcement, or maybe it'll have something to do with CM Punk, since now people are coming back, right? Miro came back, and Thunder Rosa, two people that probably have also some stuff in the locker room, probably, but maybe now that could also warrant Punk coming back, which I think he will be, because that's what the word on the street is, right? So.
Yeah, yeah. Well, I'll just say that um, the only thing I'll say about Tony Khan integrating himself into the show and being the official like authority figure that we didn't have early on in AEW is that he needs to look out for burying himself, because when there are times when people are like beating someone down and no security comes and things like that, before there was no authority figure, so it didn't really matter. But now, since it's looking more like he's the guy in charge. He's the guy people are gonna look to and be like, well, what the hell's going on? So, but there has been things where like the four-way thing. He made that because he saw everyone was cheating. So he's like, he's the GM here, and he'll see that people deserve a title shot or something, or deserve a rematch, and I don't think it's been too bad. I just think they need to be careful that they need to make it make sense, which might be
Well,
hard.
yeah, as long as he doesn't go into like the evil authority figure and be actually on the TV, that would be bad. He can't pull that off. He can barely, pull off a
Yeah,
promo
he's
backstage.
the babyface GM that will do the right thing, basically, which I guess is a
Yeah,
decent role for him. He doesn't really even have to talk. He just sends Shivani to talk or something. So,
yeah,
all right,
yep.
what do we got next? Let's move on.
Let's move on.
Number 5, Jericho, Chris Jericho. he had an interview
Mm,
backstage with Renee, and
yeah.
he has Adam Cole banned from the building whenever he's in the building. And
Oh
this whole
man.
thing set up a match with him and Roderick Strong next week, a Falls Count Anywhere fight,
Oh
and
yeah, of course.
Roderick Strong somehow got a lawyer, and he got JAS banned from the building, just like Adam Cole's banned from the building. So that all happened really quick. He just
Sure.
handed him a piece of paper. So, all right, well, what'd you think of
Yeah.
this?
Those things are, as a lot of Jericho stuff, it's pretty dumb. The lawyer, I got a lawyer. Well, I got a lawyer, and you got a lawyer, and everybody's got a lawyer. Okay, whatever, stupid. But and plus now the first match with Roderick Strong, basically the singles match, is a no disqualification, falls count anywhere match with Chris Jericho. I mean, it's fine that that's his first match with Jericho. That's actually okay, but because Jericho is a big name, but I don't know. This whole thing, anything that Jericho's involved with, I'm always down on, and he hasn't been involved in anything good in a long time. Um, Adam Cole, I don't even know, man. I want to, he's a good guy. I want to see him succeed, but if he's going to be involved with Jericho, it's going to go south fast, and that's where this is going. It's going south fast. I have no faith it's going to work out. So that's my thoughts on that feud or this whole story.
Well, I'll just say that I thought this particular promo from Jericho wasn't really that bad. It, wa- it was funny. There was a moment where he got a laugh from the audience because he said Adam Cole attacking him created an unsafe work environment, and the audience literally laughed like it was a comedy show. So
Well, yeah.
I don't know if that's what they're going for, for the audience to laugh at the show like that, but
Hmm.
um, I will say I guess I thought he delivered his lines fine here, and I don't know about a Falls Count Anywhere fight with Roderick Strong out of nowhere though. That's
Yeah.
the booking there. I don't know. They could have just had a match, but and then Roderick Strong talking to Tony Khan or whoever he talked to get JAS banned from the building. Also, um, I, I I don't know. It just kind of it seemed like it was slapped together. They
Yeah,
could have worked
it seems phony. It seems ridiculous, and it is.
they could have worked it a little better, I'd say. But
Yeah, but it is what it is, and it's AEW, so you kind of go with it
yeah,
because you don't expect better.
it's not one of the feuds I'm digging, I guess. Cole
No, no.
and Britt Baker personally. Let's move on. We got FTR. They were in the ring and they're gonna respond to Jeff Jarrett and Jay Lethal's challenge for the title. So
Hmm.
I guess we'll just go through the scene real quick, see what happened. FTR, they claim that Jarrett and Lethal, they're using Mark Briscoe. That's the whole thing here. And they deny it. Everyone's like, no, Mark Briscoe's my friend. He's like, no, fuck you, Mark Briscoe's my friend. And in the end, it's going to be a match at the pay-per-view. And
Right.
Mark Briscoe's going to be the referee. So they had a thing like that already where Mark Briscoe was a referee for one of their singles matches on Rampage. I don't know if you've seen that, but it wasn't good. It wasn't important.
I think
But
though I don't remember him being the referee though. They had a match right between Lethal and one of the FTRs. Who
Cash,
was
I
it?
think it was
It was
Cash
Cash.
Wheeler, if I'm not
It
mistaken.
was Cash. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
But I don't
In
remember. For some reason, I don't remember Briscoe being the referee for that. But that's how closely I watched those rampages. So if he
yeah,
was, I
in the
must have
end,
missed it.
at the end of this, Sanjay spits alcohol in Cash's face. They
Right,
beat
because they were all gonna be like a drink, a celebratory drink.
Yeah,
Right.
or in Dax's face, and then they beat up Cash. And Jeff Jarrett throws Mark Briscoe into Dax, who was blinded by the alcohol, and then he pile drives just whoever he was holding. So, uh, what do you think of this? All right, let's go at this angle.
Well, I don't know. I mean, I like most of the people involved, but I think when you add a lot of the comedic stuff, it's not that good. When you add the huge giant there, and I don't know, man. I want to. I mean, I think they'll have a good match. These guys can definitely all
That's what I was
put
going to
on
say. The match is
good
going to be
match.
dope.
The match will be great. These are great workers. I don't know where they're going with Mark Briscoe. They could have done a lot with Mark. It doesn't look like they're, because they kind of made him into a joke character, kind of more comedic. This guy's like a serious like wrestler. Him and his brother were serious wrestlers. They were pretty fantastic. So of course, this put him in in this type of situation where he's kind of like it's comedic and whatever. But yeah, obviously the match will be pretty good. These guys can all work very well. They're all professionals. Lethal, Jarrett, FTR. Yeah. But as far as the feud, it is what it is. Kind of lacking any real meat. You kind of just get a lot of vegetables with no meat on this.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, I think they're going to have a fantastic, stellar match.
Sure.
The feud itself has been a little funky. I mean, it makes sense. The feud makes sense because, I guess Mark Briscoe knows FTR. They're trying to say like, oh, they had matches, they had respect for each other, so they were trying to get a match with them. They were trying to get FTR to agree to a match. So logically, I guess there's some logic there, but overall, the whole scene at the farm and Mark Briscoe being a joke, and they could have made something a little more serious out of him. But I hope they have that.
It could be like an
intense
thing.
I hope they have that plan in the future for something better for him than this. But I don't know. You never know with Toni Khan. But I think they could have just made him a singles guy, and he could have been involved with feuds for singles titles, like international champion.
Sure.
That would be fine.
Yeah.
Something like that. Some really good, solid matches. But
sure, absolutely.
I guess not. All right.
No,
let me see,
ain't happening.
Let me see what we got next. Let's go to the main event. We had the angle with the Blackpool Combat Club and the Elite, Jon Moxley, Kenny Omega. They showed a bit of their history. They've had a lot of history in the show already. Moxley was the first guy Omega had a beef with. Moxley jumped him because he was like the big fish on campus, I guess. And they had that whole thing at the beginning, which led to like a lights out match where they have already done everything there is to do to each other. And they also fought again, right, for the title. I think Moxley dropped the title to Omega. When Omega started his reign during the pandemic.
Oh, yeah.
He became the champion. That's right. Moxley was the guy who dropped it to him. He lost clean. V-trigger.
Yeah.
And,
well, I don't know if it was clean. Wasn't there some cheating or something? Well, whatever. It doesn't really matter. But yes,
I don't think so. I think Moxley dropped it clean to him there, and Moxley went away for a little while. But the point is they've already had a lot of fights, a lot of matches.
Yes.
And this one, I guess, is a little different because it involved, the Elite, the rest of the Elite, and they're fighting. They got stables that are fighting. But there was a big brawl before the match and the match itself. I don't know if you want to give your thoughts on this match. What do you think?
Just the match itself?
The match, the pre-match, the post-match. Oh, I guess, yeah, the angle. I'll restart the clock, but I did forget to mention that Don Callis turned on Kenny Omega. That was the big reveal of the night, the big swerve that Don Callis betrayed Kenny Omega, and they're like family, right? So, any thoughts on any of it?
Not well. The only thing that was kind of cool, I felt. I mean, obviously, it was the usual type of match that you expect in AEW. Kind of there's somebody's bleeding, but not bleeding very good. But anyways, it was what it was. But the spot where they went through the cage was kind of a cool spot, I felt. I mean, I don't know how you do that, but I thought it was a cool spot.
Moxley took a bad bump to the floor there.
Yeah, and then
they had the glass.
Leg got stuck. Oh yeah, they had the glass, and
they had barbed wire, steel chair. It was.
Well, my only point to that is the point of wrestling is not to actually do that to yourself. It's supposed to be a work. You're supposed to look like it hurts, but
Yeah,
it doesn't.
they
Not
could use
actually,
worked barbed wire. They don't need to use actual barbed wire.
not actually scar your body with blades and glass. I mean, I don't know, man. To me, it's ridiculous. It loses the art feel when you actually are hurting yourself. You know, when you're actually cutting your back up with glass. I mean, Jesus Christ, what are we doing here? But anyways, overall, you know, and then the swerve I told you was coming. The swerve, I'll let you talk, you know, but because my minute's up. But the swerve I told you like months ago, that's where it looks like it was leading. But so I'm not that surprised.
Yeah, I mean, I kind of don't like when they do a swerve and they really try to make us believe like it's not gonna happen. You know, like I remember one time, I forgot how it happened, but like CM Punk was one of the people who got beat up by the Nexus, but then he ended up being the actual leader of the Nexus, and he's like, yeah, I made you all think that, you know, I wasn't with them because I even took a power bomb through a table from them. So you guys are stupid. I'm like, who would do that? You know, who would purposefully take a blade to the head like Don
Right.
Callis did just to, you know, just to make the swerve more surprising or something? Or I don't know. I don't know why, but I don't like when they do that personally. But other than that, I mean, they have the brawl with all the stables and everything. Oh, the one thing that I thought was cool about this whole match was Danielson laughing the whole time at the violence, I guess.
I don't
I
know. Yeah, I
I like
guess.
I like that for him. I like that for him that he's a character that's into violence. So, but other than that, it wasn't anything we hadn't seen before, and I guess Don Callis is with the Blackpool Combat Club now, or maybe he
Maybe
just
he's.
doesn't like Kenny Omega, or maybe he just wants to leave. Maybe he's just done with wrestling. I have no idea.
It's hard to say. I don't know. Maybe they. Yeah, maybe they need a manager because like Regal left, right? So they need someone. Maybe that's where they're going, or maybe he has nothing to do with it, and he's like you said, he's just. I don't know. It's. I don't know, and I'm not sure how much I care. So that's the other problem.
Yeah, this
You know,
is
the
another angle
AEW
that I didn't really like, but I mean, we're gonna go on to our grades. We're gonna give our final grades of the show. I don't know if you want to think about it or if you've already thought about it.
I mean, God. All right. I mean, I'll give it a. No, I haven't thought about it. I'll give it a C minus.
Hmm. I don't know, man. I kind of want to give it a B minus. I want to move it up.
B minus.
Well,
B
yeah, we had
minus.
we had the
Well,
Christian thing. Um, I,
oh,
we
brother,
we
I don't
had a
know.
we had a swerve. You know, all right. I mean, maybe C plus. I can't. I mean, a B minus is a pretty good grade because they had two hardcore matches. If they were gonna only do one at the end, maybe it would have been better. Although the Julia Hart Anna Jay match was like a spectacle, like it was interesting to watch. I can't say it was good wrestling. The
No.
Orange Cassidy match with Daniel Garcia, I didn't mind. I thought it was okay.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
They had all those pillars promo stuffs that throughout the
Right.
show that was kind of
Yeah.
it was whatever, you know. But
Right.
my
Yeah, it was
highlights are
okay.
Christian, and I guess
Yeah.
the main event was. So, I mean, the Rey Fenix Claudio match we didn't even talk about. That was a waste of time. I didn't even
Yeah.
really. I watched it, but I really didn't like it. But all right, you know what? I'll move it down to a C plus, only because it's hard to give it a B. That's a really good grade. So I'll give it a C plus just because it had some. It was more exciting than last week.
Right.
It wasn't
Well,
it wasn't
last
as
week,
boring.
yeah.
It wasn't as
Last week was a
boring as last
disaster
week.
show.
So I'll give it a C plus. So you're at C minus, huh?
Yeah. So I
That's an
think.
improvement from last week. Last week you gave it a D plus or something, right?
Yeah. So this is a slightly better show than that. I would agree with that. You know, there were some decent moments here, but nothing that. There's so much that we didn't even cover that was like not good. There was a trios match. There was that first match. I mean, there was a whole bunch of other stuff, and the
That's
stuff that
true.
we
I
did
forgot about
cover.
that trios match. the,
There
the
was so much of the show that was just junk that it's hard. Too much. But no, so these cannot be good shows. These cannot. When you have all these type of characters in there, there's no way it can go. To me, these shows cannot go past it. a C right now. So there, a C minus is just me being not nice, but I think it's fair for what these shows are.
I thought it was now that you mentioned that trios match when they were trying to get the best friends to choose their stipulation or something, and they didn't even understand what the hell those House Rules matches were. They're like, all right, no witches at ringside. We'll take that.
I got no words for you.
They got messed up.
Yeah.
Orange Cassidy got messed up. He's gonna fight that guy from Aussie Open. I forgot to mention
that's
that
right.
earlier.
That's another thing. Yeah, but yeah.
Orange Cassidy scene that we did, our Orange Cassidy segment. But I'm looking forward to that, definitely. Trying to make it 22 in a row, baby.
Me too. I can't wait to forward to
how long
that
can
match.
he keep this up? I don't freaking know.
As long as Toni Khan wants to dress up as him, that's how long he'll keep it up.
Well, Miro is back, so maybe he's gonna enter that picture. Miro, Thunder Rosa. Any thoughts there? We didn't really cover that.
Yeah. Well, yeah. I think it is interesting. Those are interesting things. Those are actually, to me, some of the more interesting things that happened on the shows when they came back and kind of went into just because they're two characters that I liked, and can do some stuff. Miro before he left and he was starting to come around and actually be an interesting character and be funny and be kind of a monsterish heel type. Thunder Rosa is a good worker. I know she has beef with some of the women in the back there, some locker room issues that I've heard, and I'm sure Miro has some issues too as well. But if you're going to have Miro, you might as well use him. And the same goes for Thunder Rosa. She's a good worker, so I hope that. Plus, the women's division is such garbage that they have no choice but to put her back in the world title picture, I feel.
Well, what I heard about Miro from the word on the street, the internet word on the street, is that he didn't want to put someone over or something. That he was booked into an angle where he was going to lose, and he was trying to protect his character, like most people do back in the days in the business. And he didn't want to do that, but because in AEW everyone just loses flat when they get asked to, like Lance Archer lost flat, Hobbs just lost flat to Wardlow.
Right.
Looks ridiculous. Doesn't look strong anymore. Wardlow lost flat to Samoa Joe, but I don't know. I guess people forgot enough, or they think Joe is enough of a badass that doesn't really make Wardlow look bad. I guess I don't know. To me, that was kind of bad. I didn't think he should lose to Joe like the way he did, getting his hair cut and everything completely and utterly humiliated. But I think he got him back. No, did he get him back? I'm not sure. But anyway,
well, he beat him later.
Okay. So I mean, if they could figure out something for Miro to do that he'll agree to, fine, good. I like him. The Redeemer. All those promos were really, really solid, really good, and I thought it was a good character.
I mean, I think he beat God. That's how he got back. He beat God in the match, and now he's back in AEW, baby. That was the stipulation. If he can beat God one-on-one, he gets to go back to AEW, and he did it.
God. That sounds like Ethan Page wrestling against himself and Impact. He fought God. Vince McMahon fought God once, I think, in a tag team match.
Yeah, that's right. That was the angle with Shawn
Michaels and God against Vince and Shane.
Yes.
All right. Well, look, that'll conclude our AEW Dynamite review this week. That was short, I think.
Thank goodness.
A little quicker than we usually do. But anyways, you want to do a little segment on WWE? I guess we could talk about Brock Lesnar and Cody continuing their feud.
If you want to things you want to discuss, we can go for it. Absolutely.
Well, I mean, Cody's world heavyweight title run got stopped by Brock Lesnar, who I guess was a sore loser, right? To his match, he lost at Backlash, and he doesn't want to leave it at that, right? What do you think of this feud continuing?
It's what I messaged you when I saw it. I think it's better that he feuds with Lesnar than goes for the secondary title. So I'm not really that upset about it. feuding with Lesnar is money. There's no money in whoever is going to be the champion for the secondary belt that nobody cares about, So I'd rather feud with Lesnar. If they gave me the option, do you want to be the secondary champion or do you want to feud with Lesnar? I'd feud with Lesnar. I'd main event matches with Lesnar, so that's an easy decision, so I'm fine with it, to be honest, as far as this goes. Now we can talk about the fact that he should have, well, we already talked that to death, that he should won a WrestleMania, but as far as this specific thing, yeah, I'm good with it. I'm good with it.
What about the world? So you're not interested in who wins the world heavyweight title in the end?
I think I told you about that before. That we shouldn't even have it. It shouldn't even exist. There shouldn't be no second.
God, yeah, I know. They really screwed the fans here, man. Like there's things you try to roll with, but this is not something.
Yeah.
I don't think anyone wants to roll with, man. No one wants to have a good attitude about this silly title that. You're right. Even if Cody won it, it would have been like very depressing that that's the title he won. So can they keep distracting Cody like this for forever? Like, okay, he's done with Lesnar, and then maybe like Baron Corbin is gonna say, oh, you think you're the best, Cody? Try to beat me, and then they'll have like 3 matches.
I don't think that's going to happen. I think he's going to still fight pretty important wrestlers. Now, if you're asking me who that will be, I don't know. But the fact is, he's also stuck on Raw, which is another issue, because they have to split the brand, split the brands or whatever the heck they call it, which makes no sense as well, because why do that when you have such a weak roster base and you really only like 10 guys or even less probably are 10 people that people actually care about. Why would you split up the brand? I don't know. It seems seems ridiculous.
The angle with the bloodline. You're over this or what? It should be done already, or you?
Well, yeah, I'm over it. I'm over it because as I've been saying, WrestleMania, since post WrestleMania, the TV has been pretty bad. I am over it because they've added Riddle to it, and it keeps going the same thing over and over again, and it's the same guys. I think at this point, I'd like to see Sikoa kind of go single and not be in these multi-type matches, and he does his own thing, and he could be with the bloodline, but he's just he is actually feuding with main guys, and I think they need to go to that already, because it's kind of annoying with this whole thing that they're doing with these multi-man matches, these 6-man, even these tag team matches. I'm over it, I get it. But it's the same matches every single time, so nothing really changes except maybe they switch up who's going to win, But yeah, I'm over that part of it. And since Roman's not been on TV lately, it's even worse. I think he will be on the SmackDown, which will be a reason to watch it. But in general, yeah, I don't think it's been that exciting since WrestleMania, the Bloodline story specifically.
All right, well, let's wrap up the podcast for the week. That's good enough. You want to take a little sports break, like back in the days? What do you think? Denver just whooped
we're
Phoenix,
talking
right?
sports.
I didn't.
That's right.
We don't have a sports
Denver
show yet, so we can take our sports breaks during our podcast, whichever podcast we're doing. We only have one podcast on this network now, but I'm hoping to get more on here soon. But so what do you think of Denver beating Phoenix?
Yeah, I mean, I pretty much predicted it. I mean, of course, it was kind of sad end to Phoenix, but I didn't really like them.
Phoenix? Why are you sad for Phoenix?
No, I'm not sad for Phoenix. I'm just saying it was a sad ending to their season. As if I was a Phoenix fan, the way they just nobody Paul couldn't play, and then Ayton doesn't have the guts to play. He just can't play Tony Payne, and they have no depth. They're starting this, I don't even know who, this Landell center guy, whatever. I mean, I'm glad Denver beat the crap out of them. Don't get me wrong, but yeah, I wouldn't have minded a seventh game there because knowing maybe the Lakers could get further rest or something. But
Yeah,
but I
for
guess it doesn't really
anyone
matter.
who might be listening, Vlad is a Laker fan since he was a kid. Ridiculously
Yes,
hardcore Laker fan. Well, what do you
yes,
think of this
indeed,
Game
yes.
6 coming up? Is it tomorrow or today
Yeah,
that we're recording this?
that's correct. That's right. So it will be today, if you will.
Yeah.
But yeah, I feel pretty good about it. I've
Oh my
said,
God. You guys
I said
better win, man. You guys better win. You don't want to go back to
I,
Golden State, man.
well, absolutely. That goes without saying. I think everybody knows the stakes. I mean, you go back to Golden State, you could be in a world of trouble at that point. But I did say the Lakers in 6 in the beginning, and this is like a perfect opportunity. I mean, we're at home, we're up 3-2, we have a chance to close them out, and we should. Now, will we? I can't say 100%, but I feel pretty good that we will. There's no 100% when you got this type of shooting that Golden State could offer, but I feel pretty solid that my prediction's gonna stick, and it's gonna be the Lakers in 6.
Now, who was your prediction for the final? You got the Lakers going to the final or what?
No, I had Denver going to the finals, but I had them against Milwaukee, and that turned out to be a disaster. So
And you were gonna pick Milwaukee to win the championship?
no, I did pick them. I picked them. So my pick was eliminated very early on. That was the most wrong pick I've had maybe of all time. Of all my the Bucks made me look the dumbest. That's why I said I lost
Well, they
some of
had
my
injuries.
basketball.
It wasn't that bad a pick. I mean, I
It was
never
pretty
really
good.
believed
The way they lost those last couple games was pretty bad when they were trailing 2-1, and then they lost a huge lead in Miami, a double-digit lead in the fourth, and then they lost a double-digit lead at home to get eliminated. That was just crazy. So, yeah, okay.
I never had
yeah.
much belief in Milwaukee, dude. Even when they won the championship, I thought they, like everyone else, kind of just got injured and cleared the way for them. And so
But that happens every year to
not this
an
year.
extent.
Not this year. Everyone's playing this year now. Shoot, this is a pretty good injury-free year, other than Chris Paul, but that doesn't really count. He always gets hurt in the playoffs. They had enough there, honestly. They had Durant and Booker. They can't complain that they didn't have enough. But
I don't know what they're going to complain about, but I'm sure they'll find something that they
they didn't have enough time to gel. They might be better next year.
Maybe. Who knows? I guess we'll see. They don't have any debt though, and I don't really have much faith in. The key would be Chris Paul being healthy, but you can't really rely on it because he actually is like a leader type. But I don't really sense leadership in Booker or Durant. They don't. They're just good players, but they don't not like leaders. So we'll see. And the East. Well, the East. It's going to Game 7. Between Boston and Philly, so that should be interesting. I think Philly.
Right. I told you Boston was going to push that to Game 7.
Yeah. I think it's looking. Well, we'll see, but I think smart money is probably on Boston not to take it. Philly had their chance, and it looks like they couldn't get it done. And I'm pretty sure Miami will close it out tomorrow too. So I'm expecting Miami Boston to have like their rematch from last year, their series from last year. But yeah, so I mean those are my thoughts as far as that. I think the Lakers will beat Golden State, but I don't expect them to beat Denver. I have Denver going to the finals. I would love to be wrong there, by the way, but I think Denver could actually win the whole thing.
I'm picking Denver. I picked them the last time we had a segment, NBA segment, so I'm telling you, I'm picking Denver. Whether they play Boston or Miami, I mean, I don't know who it's going to be. I think Boston-Miami could be a great series. But I think Denver's going to be the best. They got the best home court advantage. They got such a good team. They're used to playing Mile High. It's already comfortable for them. So I'm thinking this is going to be Denver's, but I think it's theirs to lose. But I guess we'll see.
We'll see. I kind of agree with you at this point. But I hope to be wrong.
The Lakers, are the
at Lakers
favorites.
event. Mm,
They are.
You
They're the
mean like
sportsbook
like
favorites right now
like the Vegas betting the betting
to
favorites?
win the West. Yeah, to go to the finals. They're favorites over Denver.
Yeah, yeah. Well, I don't. Yeah, I
I know.
let's say I disagree with
What do
that
they
part of
know? What do they know? They had them at 5,000 to 1 in the middle of the season.
it. That's
Idiots.
right. Well, to be fair, I had them quite 1,000,000 to 1 in the middle of the season, so I
Yeah,
I
no,
didn't have them.
it is pretty miraculous how far they've come. But I think
Yeah, I mean they
it's already
definitely
something to be proud of, getting this far. Even if they lose
right.
to Golden State.
No, we have to finish Golden State. That one we have to finish. We can't blow a
Yeah, well,
3-1
yeah,
lead.
it
So I
would be
disagree with that.
disappointing to blow a 3-1 lead, but still, it's incredible that they've gotten to the conference semifinals, starting at 2-10 and being 13th place,
Yeah,
like with 2 months to go in the season. They went on a pretty decent roll to get it just to get into the playoffs. Like it was
yeah,
a incredible run. It's been an incredible run. Yeah, I mean, of course, if they blow this lead, it's gonna hurt, but can't believe they
yeah.
come this far. It's hard to believe.
I think if they can at least get to the conference finals, I would consider the season a success. Anything above that will be so great. If they can get to the finals, and I'm not even going to talk about if they can win the championship, that will be just amazing. That will be so sweet. It'll be probably the sweetest title in Laker history, one of the sweetest titles, because it would be so unexpected
Yeah,
in a way. But
that would be great for LeBron's legacy. Incredible.
oh, for sure. It would be incredible for his legacy. It would be one of the more incredible titles of all time. I feel that's just my opinion, but we'll see. Unfortunately, I'm not predicting that's going to happen. So, but we'll see. It will play out, and let's just see if they can beat Golden State first and close that out, and then we can move on from there, and we could discuss that. But yeah, so far, things are kind of happening. Kind of the way I predicted, but except for the big mistake that I made is the Milwaukee series,
Yeah.
which is like a what do they call those? Like
A blotch on your record.
a blot on my record.
A black spot on Vlad, the NBA expert from back in the
Right.
days, the K-Hon
Yeah.
TV NBA expert.
That's exactly right. Because I've never missed one that badly. Like as far as picking a champion and that team getting
Yeah, well,
eliminated in
who
the
would
first
pick
round.
the 8th seed? No one really picks the 8th seed to beat the 1st seed. That was a hard pick. If someone really picked that, they were a Miami
Yeah.
homer. Don't beat yourself.
Well,
up for that one.
nobody. I looked at prior to that series starting. Nobody of the like ESPN or all the other news sports stations picked the Heat to win that series. I think everybody said Bucks were going to win in 5 games, and it ended up being the other way around. So who knows? Who knew? Right?
All right, Vlad. Well, listen, I want to thank you again for coming on my show. This
Absolutely.
channel
Anytime, man.
wouldn't be possible without you, man. I'm very grateful to have people on the show with me, so I'm not just talking to myself and looking like a loser with no friends. But but I like today's show. I think it went by a little the pace was a
Quicker,
little better than we picked up the pace, and hopefully we could get some viewers to actually like us. We're trying to improve. We're trying to improve here.
I can't wait to see the Orange Cassidy numbers. Those are going to be riveting. If he gets the most views again, I give up in humanity at that point. But I've already given up on humanity, I guess, because it keeps happening.
All right. Well, listen, Vlad, I'm gonna let you go. I'm gonna end
All right,
the
man.
show and go to sleep. But have a good night. I'll see you tomorrow. We'll talk about this Laker game.
All right, man. Take care. Have a good one.
All right.